Hello, this is Alan Perwethis from Capstone Partners, and we're here today with Caruana McManus from Meshed.
Thanks, Alan.
So welcome.
Thank
I
you.
think I should give you an award because I think you traveled the farthest of anyone to come to this show.
Well, apparently I hear there are some people from Argentina, so they
compete.
may compete, but look, Andrew and I came across from Sydney. This is the third year that Meshed has been at this conference, but it's the first year for me, so very excited to be here.
Well, it's great that you're here. And so tell us about Meshed. You have a great company name, but what exactly does Meshed do?
Meshed is a systems integrator, and we formed 4.5 years ago. And we are the largest provider of the Things network and the Things industry servicing the Australian and New Zealand market. We have a lot of government clients, and we're very solid in the area of smart cities and asset management.
You know, smart city is a term that's been around for a while.
Yes.
And it's used in many, many different ways.
Absolutely.
So I have to ask, how do you define smart city? What makes a city smart?
For me, it's really simple. It's about getting data about the things that matter the most to people. And my background prior to Meshed was with IBM, with Smart Cities. And many years ago, I was working in government, in local government. And look, what they're looking for, ways in which they can understand what's happening within their community and do it in a really economical way. I think the really exciting thing about smart cities today is we have the Internet of Things, which has really brought a voice to smart cities, because prior to that it was too complex, it was very expensive, it was reliant on proprietary systems such as, intelligent transport systems. But now with the Internet of Things, it's much more tangible, it's more affordable because cost has come down. So that's just enabling cities to engage around the concept of buying digital infrastructure, getting data off their assets and being able to service that to the cloud, and then using that information to improve their service or to share that information with their community.
Yeah, it makes sense. So there's many use cases in a smart city.
Yes.
So what's your favorite one or two use cases that you're engaged with your company?
Well, we started interestingly in the area of air quality sensing, and that has gone from strength to strength, particularly in light of the recent bushfires that we've experienced in Australia.
I bet.
But one of my passionate use cases is actually people counting. And the reason for that is that regardless of whether or not you're a city or you're a building owner, or you could be a construction company, just understanding where people are, but doing it in a way that isn't intrusive is a really important piece of data. And particularly from organisations that own a lot of assets, utilisation of those assets is also very important. So I think that's a really interesting use case, because it can also be then coupled with things such as temperature and humidity. So if rooms are too warm, people are finding that a little bit difficult. They may move away from that space. But we're doing some fun things. So we're working with councils who are doing festivals and events. So we're, the local Italian festival, street festival, or we've even got the Elvis Festival. We have a big Elvis Festival in Australia. That technology is being used to understand how long are people waiting in queues for the amenities, et cetera, et cetera. So there's some fun things also for people counting.
We are the first person to mention IoT and Elvis together.
Oh, well, there you go. I'm a mad Elvis
quite a
fan.
long time. So congratulations on... see, IoT is so applicable to everything. It's,
absolutely.
It's wonderful. So how does the Things Network fit into what you're doing in Australia?
Look, the Things Network is instrumental. When it was launched in late 2015, we embraced it immediately because we saw it as a decentralised open standard for universities and cities to start to get data. And it was really about reducing the barriers to entry. So 4 years now, we've got nearly 50 cities on the Things Network in Australia. But what we also have enjoyed is the ability to also support mission critical applications on the private instance, being the Things industries. And so the ability of both the Things Network and the Things industries working together so that you can actually cover more use cases, and also you only need to pay for a service if you really if it's a mission critical application. Examples of that are things like smart lighting or water metering, as opposed to environmental sensing. You know, where air quality sensing, you can get a number of reads through the course of the day. It doesn't really matter that you miss one of those reads. So, you know, that's the balance between the things network and then, of course, having that additional capability with performance and SLAs through the things industries.
I think it's a really important differentiation that you have this, I don't know if you call it a consumer grade network, but the lighter network combined with a commercial grade network, and that you can align the use case with the service level that you need, and then align, of course, the cost structure.
Alan, I really like that. So consumer combined with enterprise grade, that's exactly what it is. It's the best of both worlds. And I think what we find interesting coming from you know, the world of technology and the internet is that if people don't see the value very early on, the technology won't thrive. So I think the important message around the Things Network has been to reduce the barriers of entry of people getting involved in the Internet of Things, but it's backed up by a very secure protocol, LoRaWAN, so it's end-to-end encryption, and that also, I think, helps us in supporting cities where they want to be able to use it, for the community to use it, but also know that it's a secure capability. And where Mesh fits in, we provide a managed service. So the networks that we deploy are fully managed. So we help on things such as the warranty of the network equipment. We do the updates on the network server. And our customers really love that because they don't want to be in the business of running networks, right?
Exactly.
And with your background, you know that's not an easy thing to do.
Well, anyone can go to your local contractor store and start buying lumber. It doesn't mean you want to be in the house building business.
Right, that's
and
exactly
you want to
right.
focus on what your skills are aligned
Yes.
with. And last question I have to ask you is, you know, we talk about growing IoT,
Yes.
helping customers really more quickly with lower risk get these solutions out. I know you're very involved in the IoT Alliance in Australia. Maybe you could just touch on that for a minute.
Yeah, so we formed the Internet of Things Alliance about 4 years ago for the single purpose of raising the level of understanding of how critical industries needed to be digitally connected. And in Australia, we have industries of competitive advantage, such as agriculture, energy, water, and those industries were lagging behind in terms of being able to be fully digitised. So, look, it's a non-for-profit organisation. We've worked really hard in sharing information around standards, and also we have a number of work streams looking into areas such as smart cities, platforms, interoperability, data and data use. So, yes, it's very important to us, and now we've got, I think, an ecosystem of about 300 to 400 organisations.
Wow.
It's completely open, anybody can join, and Meshed actually has been a strong partner of the Alliance from day one as a small to medium sort of enterprise, but we've also got organisations like KPMG, Bosch involved, so it's very inclusive.
Well, it sounds like you have quite a bit going on down there. So
Thank you,
thank you
Alan.
again for spending time with us today, Catherine.
My pleasure. Thank you.